All right, we are live. I can see on YouTube now, so it is officially kicked off. And so since we're still kind of gathering people, I'll try to talk for the next couple of minutes just so we can have something to do. And so I think the chat box is now opened up to everyone, maybe. So if you want to toss in chat box of any questions you have or what the most ambitious pumpkin design that you've ever tried and had it catastrophically fail is, feel free to toss that in there. I know as a kid, I used to try to do the ones that you like poke holes in, and it would like the paper, you had the paper up and you'd poke the holes, except the juices of the pumpkin would bleed through and destroy the paper before I got even halfway through. So then it was just flip the pumpkin around and carve another thing on the side because, yeah, that first idea was not going to work out. Yeah, the first comment we got coming through, in case you can't see it, is thank you to all the participants. The pumpkins were fantastic. That is very true. I'll talk about this as we get into the actual hour, but we had 37, I think it was 37 entries, all of them amazing. And this, as far as I know, is the largest Carve for a Cause ever. So we're going to be calling it that. It's the largest in the last 2 years. I've been with AWB for 2 years, so it is the largest ever in my mind. So thank you all for being a part of the biggest and greatest ever AWBS Carve for a Cause. We're still gathering people as they're coming in. So if you're watching this on YouTube, whether it's live or recorded, we have our Zoom session going on at the same time, which is where participants and volunteers have been allowed to come in to interact a little bit more. There's also a slight delay as we go over to YouTube. So I'm actually going to turn mine off now that I know that it's working, because it's really distracting to see myself talking mid-sentence on one screen and have another me be about 30 seconds behind on the previous paragraph on the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. I don't think there's any reason to keep that open. Great, so we got about 5 minutes left before we start. We're at, let's take a look at the leaderboard here. So we've got $2,070 so far donated, which is pretty incredible. So this is just the donations to the pumpkin designs. This does not include the entries themselves. So this is a fundraiser. This is the AWBS annual fundraising event. So as much of a pumpkin carving contest it is, and we will absolutely want to celebrate all of our amazing designs, and we'll take a look at those in depth later on. This is also the opportunity to give to the organization and towards the mission. And so it's great to see that we've got the donations kind of climbing up there. We've got, like I said, $2,070 so far on the Give Butter page. And so if you're watching this live or recorded, it'll be up afterwards. So you can go to awb-seattle.org/carve, and all the links will be there. Or you can go through our Give Butter account, which there'll be a link on the AWBS page. So just go there and everything will be there that you need. I'm pretty sure I said that right. So hyphen straight across the dash, and backslash is that one. I always get those mixed up. But so hopefully that's correct and takes you to the place. If not, I'm pretty sure you can figure that out. How are we doing on time? We got 3 minutes left before we kind of kick it off officially. Since I turned off the YouTube, I don't know how many of you are watching anymore, but I'm going to assume when I turned it off, it was 6. By now, it has to be at least 600. So it's going to be ramping up and up as we go. I expect at least, I would say 80% of the Western Seaboard to be watching by the end of this. So welcome. I think this kicks off after the end of your nightly news. We cut right in. So hello, if you're wrapping up the news, thanks for tuning in to the Carve for a Cause from Architects Without Borders, Seattle. I do want to call out that we'll be talking to our judges later on today, but we had 5 amazing judges, and so you will meet all of them later on in the programming. But an early shout out, thanks to our judges for kind of running through all of our entries. Again, 37 entries, so it was a lot to look through, and kind of giving us kind of their ideas. They also had some comments that hopefully we'll bring into the dialogue as we're going through. So thank you again, and we'll be hearing from them shortly. You also might be able to hear my neighbors who sound like they might be trick-or-treating at the moment. So if you can just kind of scream a little bit, and maybe they'll think we have, party going on in here. I do have, you can see back here, I got all of the pumpkins in my house for the background here, except that, it's hard to point and zoom. That is the cauldron of candy. I live in a condo, and I've been here for 5 years, and I've never had a trick-or-treater. So every year I buy a big bag of candy, and then it's pushed on me that now I have to eat all that candy. So I do what I have to do, and I eat that candy. So each year I start buying that earlier and earlier, because if I'm going to have to eat that candy, I might as well just start enjoying it, October 1. Why wait until October 31st? So I'm just hoping this year I don't have trick-or-treaters, because there's not much left for them. All right, I think we're about 1 minute away from officially starting. I'll take a quick drink of water. It's exactly right. Alex is one smart guy to buy his candy early. I should also buy it late, because that's when you can get it on sale, right? But by then all the good stuff's gone. It's really hard to find like the individual Skittle packs or the Starburst, which are the gold standard of Halloween candy, I feel like, at least for me. I mean, Reese's Cups are great, but like the Twix, they're tiny little Twix. It's a waste of space, in my opinion. Let's get some Skittles in there. Let's get some variety, All right, I think we're at 7:30, so we'll start opening it up. Hopefully we'll start to see some more people flood in as we get our Zoom session kicked off here. Once again, if you're watching on YouTube, we are streaming this through YouTube, but we're hosting it on Zoom so that we can have a little bit more of a dialogue, interaction with our contestants and our volunteers. And so if you're tuning in earlier, I was talking about my candy preferences. And there's a 100 grand is the gold standard to Corinna. So that is a solid one. That was in the value pack that I got. So I'm learning the value of the 100 grand bar, but I still think it's Starburst. It's got to be Starburst. And when you open it up and there's 2 reds in there, it can't get any better than that. All right, so I think we can probably go ahead and get started here. So thank you all for tuning in. In case you don't know me and can't read the sign underneath my face here, my name is Alex Bouts. I'm the Vice President with Architects Without Borders Seattle. And tonight is the exciting conclusion to our annual Carve for a Cause fundraiser / pumpkin carving competition. I hope you're all excited to see who the winner is. We have a number of winners. We have 8 prizes we're giving out, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First, I want to tell you a little bit about AWBS and why I support the organization. At AWBS, we collaborate with underserved communities to deliver ecologically sensitive, culturally appropriate, life-changing design. I joined the board 2 years ago. After 6 years as an architectural designer, I was introduced through a few of my classmates at UW and immediately appreciated the impact that Architects Without Borders Seattle provides toward architectural solutions and relief efforts during the pandemic in underserved communities around the world. Which kind of brings us to tonight. This is a Carve for a Cause, the AWBS Carve for a Cause. It is a pumpkin carving contest, but it's also our annual fundraiser. And so this year we had more than 35 entries spanning from large architecture firms to undergraduate students, all the way down to my 2-month-old nephew, who may or may not have had a proxy help put his entry together. But tonight we'll introduce you to the judges. You'll hear about the top design in each division. And those divisions, to remind you, are organization, individual, student, and architecture student. We'll run through the prizes, including our top prize, which is $500 gift card to Canlis. And we will declare winners in each of those categories. So stay tuned. To remind everybody of the structure, our judges, who you will hear from shortly, have already submitted their picks for the best design in each of those divisions. And the voting is still ongoing. So it'll conclude after you hear from the judges, but there's still a chance right now for any last minute voting. If you're jockeying for that $500 Canlis gift card, it could still be yours. And if you need help finding the page, go to awb-seattle.org/carve and follow the links for voting. Every dollar donated is a vote, and all the proceeds go towards the operations of AWBS, so don't be shy. and make sure all those pumpkins feel some love. We need to have all of our pumpkins supported here. There's some amazing designs in there. So feel free to jump on that page. And so first, actually, let's, before we bring the judges on, let's, if we can, pull up the screen of all of our entries so we can kind of show off some of these pumpkin carving designs. See if we can get that pulled up. And like I said, we have 37 designs in total. Here we are. And so you're seeing here at the top of the page, it is the firm and organization division. And you're seeing just one picture from each of these, but each entry could have up to 3 pictures and a video. And I believe we had 5 videos this year. So if you're wowed by the pictures here, make sure to check out that Give Butter page, which has all of the images and the videos on there, because there's some really interesting thing going on with some of these videos. Right there, you can see the Nintendo 64. That was the design idea I almost had, but could not have pulled it off. I'm glad somebody was able to, because that's amazing. Definitely a reset button. I hit that reset button a lot while playing video games, getting into Zelda, and nope, not gonna work. But anyway, yes, we've got still on the firm pages here. So while we're going through here, I can just remind you of some of the prizes that we've got. So firm division is up for, and we talked about the overall prize winner, that's the overall vote getter, is the $500 canvas. But in the firm division, the People's Choice gets a 6-pack of hard cider, I believe is what it's called, some wine tasting. The best design gets the cider, a cookie decorating kit, and a Trader Joe's gift basket. The individual division will have the People's Choice gets wine tasting for 4 and another thing of the 6-pack of cider, while the best pick gets the Wyatt Stewler's necklace. And then under the architectural division, the most popular choice gets $150 to Market Street shoes and 2 AWBS pint glasses. And student division, the most popular choice gets 4 tickets to the Museum of Flight, a cookie decorating kit, and 2 AWBS pint glasses. The best design, as by the judges, gets the Halloween decorating cookie kit and the pint glasses. So those are the prizes up for that are available for our winners tonight. And we can cut away from the sharing real quick. Great, so now that we've kind of run through there, I'd love to kind of bring in our judges. And so maybe you can meet them and hear a little bit from them. Actually, one more thing before we do bring in judges. If you are a winner and you are on our live stream here on Zoom, we may ask you to give a few words about the design. So be ready in case that happens. We don't have the Oscar music queued up. So we're not sure how we're gonna hook you if you ask to talk too long, but we'll figure something out. So be ready. All right, so let's meet our judges. So we have got 5 judges tonight. Our first judge is Assistant Professor Omar Al-Hassawi from Washington State University Department of Architecture. Omar teaches graduate design studios and passive environmental control systems. His PhD research at Arizona State University focuses on passive cooling systems. During the years that preceded the start of his PhD journey, Omar practiced architecture across the Middle East and was involved in the design of key projects in the region, such as the Public Investment Fund Tower in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and the Saudi Arabian Embassy in Amman, Jordan. He was recently awarded the 2021 ACSA New Faculty Teacher of the Year. And so, Omar, would you like to join us and say a few words?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Ramla, for having us, Hala and I, and thanks to Matthias also for connecting us. This is a great opportunity. This was just a wonderful set of entries here. We're so excited to see all the creativity in all these designs, and also it was nice to see some of our former students at WSU who are now working in Seattle participating in this. So that was a happy coincidence there. Yeah, then there's some of the designs that I was really intrigued by: the plant versus zombie, the Mamma Mia, Untitled. Ben Salzman was also a great one. And all around the theme of resetting was really nice to see those. And of course, there's a lot of others. All of them were great. These are just the ones that come to mind right now that stood out.
Well, that's actually a question I have for you is just overall, you don't need to go into specifics if you don't want to, but you can if you want. What impressed you the most about the pumpkin designs, the entries that you saw?
Yeah, I think mainly the creativity and the ideas, and also the craftsmanship in some of these. Even the entries from the younger participants were funny and great to see. And it's just the diversity and the wide age range also that was really nice to see of participants from all categories. And it really brings a lot of people together. So that's really nice.
Great. Well, thanks so much. I'm actually going to go to our next judge, who is sitting next to you right now, and that is Assistant Professor Hala Barakat from the University of Idaho Architecture Department. Hala is originally from, I might be pronouncing this mispronouncing this, so Anabta, Palestine, and raised in Amman, Jordan, and comes to us from University of South Florida. Hala was received her MArch and MUCD from USF. And Hala is an assistant professor of architecture and covers the architecture design in her courses. She believes that architecture's ability to tell stories of civilizations, including narratives about displacement. Hala aims to use architecture as a catalyst for developing an architectural language understood by all. So Hala, can you give us a few words? Tell us, what your takeaways or anything else we should know about you?
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's so nice to get to meet all of you and participate in this really awesome competition. I was intrigued by the intricacy of the designs, a lot of the details. It's things I would have never imagined people could do by hand. So that was really nice. A lot of them look like architecture models, which I loved. So very tectonic, very spatial, all that good stuff. Yeah, again, thank you so much.
Well, that was actually the question that I had for you. I tried to make one question for everybody based on kind of what they saw in the pumpkins. And mine was the overall takeaways from the pumpkin designs that you saw. But I love the idea of the tectonicness of the pumpkins. So unless you have anything else you wanted to add to that, I can kind of leave it at that.
No, just thank you for everybody that participated and allowing us to be part of it.
Great, thank you. And so our next judge is Crystal Day. Crystal is an architect at NBBJ. She's an active member of NOMA Northwest, co-chair of the AIA Diversity Roundtable, and a volunteer and board member for Sawhorse Revolution. Crystal received her Bachelor of Architecture from Illinois Institute of Technology and her Master of Architecture in France from École d'Architecture de Paris Belleville. That was a tough one to get through. Sorry about that. She completed her Architecture Without Borders Carve for a Cause the contest last year and actually walked away with our grand prize, the People's Choice Award, for having the most popular design of 2020. So, Crystal, could you step on and say a few things? Give us your takeaways?
Yeah, so it was really fun last year to be a participant in it, and then this year to kind of flip roles and be the judge and kind of stand back and look at this. And these were super impressive and a lot of intricacies, like people have said, and a lot of play with light and kind of play with scale. And there's some little tiny details or like larger things. And I thought it was really interesting and great to see all this.
Cool. So the question I had for you was, what pumpkins did you find most humorous or timely? You can kind of take that direction any way you would like, but anything that comes to mind?
I really liked Mummy Mia. That one was really cute. And I like how some of them have really good stories about reset that come with their pumpkins. And then when I was looking at some of them, I couldn't help but think of, there's an episode of Squid Games where they have to kind of carve out the sugar cookie. And so it's kind of reminding me of that this would be really hard to do on Squid Games.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Our next judge is Pragnesh Parikh. Pragnesh is a current board member with Architecture Without Borders Seattle. He's a founding partner at the architecture firm RPAU with professional experience in architecture and business development. He's a skilled owner representative and has deep experience on global work share for large-scale development projects. Pragnesh is also a transformational life coach specializing in support of his colleagues in the design industry. He advises and counsels on career choices, peer reviews, and potential joint ventures. So, Pragnesh, come on in. Let's join the conversation. Since you're a fellow board member, I feel like this is just a typical board meeting at this point. Oh, I think you're muted at the moment.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, and thanks everyone here for joining tonight. This is an amazing second round of virtual meeting we have here of pumpkin carving. And I think besides what you're saying, Alex, what I'm really intrigued by how everybody embraced the word reset, which is sort of a universal phenomena right now. I mean, literally nobody can escape that. We have changed our values, our beliefs, and literally our way of lives through COVID. And the word reset, people embrace it so dearly, and they kind of look at it and manifest that in design through pumpkins carving. And that intrigues me because I look for the meaning behind what people are doing. And the actual pumpkins, all the different designs we got, has so many different manifestations of reset. It's just incredible. I think it's just a great energy we have on this pumpkin carving here. So thank you, all the participants and everybody who organized that.
Well, thanks, Pragnesh. I do have a question for you. And so that would be, who from the current Architects Without Borders Board of Directors do you think would have the best pumpkin carving skills?
Or the current board of directors?
The current board.
Oh, that's a tough one, you know?
You've even got a couple on here. So, I mean, it's a personal call at this point. I'm keeping it to current so that we don't need to worry about previous board members and just kind of narrowing the field. I
know. No, that's amazing. And if I had to probably pin one down, I would probably say Geoff would be amazing at looking at that. You know, he has just amazing vocabulary and transforming ideas into paper or kind of objects. So he'll be just incredible at coming up with something unique. I'm sorry he didn't participate this year in kind of really carving and submitting, but I know he had a personal family issues, so I'm glad he's here tonight and be with us. So,
well, maybe next year we'll get the board to carve and we'll have our own contest inside of this.
There you go. I think that'll be great.
Thanks so much. And then our final judge is Gundula Proksch. Gundula is a scholar, licensed architect, and associate professor in the Department of Architecture, and adjunct associate professor in the Department of Landscape Architecture. She's at University of Washington. She is the founding director of the Circular City Plus Living Systems Lab, an interdisciplinary research group investigating the transformative strategies for sustainable urban futures. Professor Proksch is the principal investigator of the National Science Foundation funded research project, Belmont Forum Collective Research City Food, and she holds a Master of Architecture from Cornell University. So Gundula, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. This was an exciting task. My two junior assistants here going to bed now. They really wanted to see the pumpkins. Yeah, it was exciting to see so many different ideas, as previously said by others, from the very architectural to the storytelling. And since I'm getting mentally ready for and physically ready for Halloween, getting the costumes ready and so on, I really enjoyed the storytelling part. How you can, you know, the imagery and what I could read out of them. And with this being an online exercise here, representation, I was most intrigued by the ones that were really well photographed, right? Because then light tells a story. And so I think this is for future participants, a real important aspect to this, to not just carve, but also present and light, and some videos record this. I think this comes across and it's a new material to work with as architects. So it's quite amazing. Thank you so much for inviting, for putting this together. You've done an amazing job. I was hoping there would be 10 times as many pumpkins, but in a way, it was good for us to get started with a smaller number here to judge.
370 pumpkins would probably be pretty hard to judge, but that would be exciting. So thanks again so much for judging and for being here tonight. So this now marks the end of the voting portion on Give Butter. So we're going to be taking a snapshot of voting right at this moment to see what our leaderboard is for our prizes for most popular in each division. But keep in mind that you can still vote for your favorite pumpkin and contribute to AWBS. But for the purpose of the prizes, the leaderboard will now be frozen. I do want to remind everybody that each entry can only win a maximum of one prize as well. So right now, our great volunteers backstage are collating the standings, cross-referencing that with the judges' picks, and finalizing our 2021 winners. But while they do that, I want to take this time to recognize our sponsors for both the organization and for this event. So starting with our organizational sponsors for 2021-2022 Architects Without Borders Seattle, we have Kaufman Engineers, Dowbuilt, GGLO, Jackson Maine, TGB Architects, Brandt Design Group, DCI Engineering, Graphite, Malsum Sang, MG2, Mithun, Olson Kundig, Saba Architects, Blocks, B+H Architects, CCI, 5 Dot, Hargis, O'Brien 360, PAE, Perkins Coie, Rubensteins, and Weatherholt & Associates. Thank you all for your support this year. And additionally, we want to thank our event sponsors who contributed the great prizes for today. And those are Canlis, Halford Smith Wines, Market Street Shoes, Safeway Rainier Valley, Schilling Hard Cider, Trader Joe's West Seattle, and Wyatt's Jewelers. And so we can also go through the prizes once again. Ramla, if you're able to pull up that prizes page one more time, just so we can get one last look before we get into it. Here we go, and you can all take a look here. Again, the top prize overall for the top vote getter, which will be the last prize we announced tonight, we'll get that the coveted $500 to Canlis gift card, which I have right here. And I was saying earlier, I'm quite excited to get this off my hands so that the dog does not eat this, and I'm feeling liable for that. So excited to be having that out. And then as far as firm, most popular pick will be getting a wine tasting gift certificate, a 6-pack of the Schilling Hard Cider. And then the best design by firm will be getting the cider, the 6-pack of cider, and 2 cookie decorating kits and a gift bag from Trader Joe's. The individual division, the most popular pick, gets a wine tasting for 4 and a 6-pack of cider. The best design as by the judges in the individual gets the Wyatt Jewelers necklace. In the architectural student division, the most popular pick gets $150 to Market Street Shoes and 2 Architects Without Borders pint glasses. And then in the overall student division, the most popular choice gets the 4 tickets to the Museum of Flight, the cookie kit, and 2 glasses from Architects Without Borders. And finally, the best design gets the Halloween decorating cookie kit and 2 pint glasses from Architects Without Borders Seattle. So those are the prizes. And it looks like, Ramla, do we have the frozen standings? Could you message that to me real quick? Sorry, I did not look up at the moment. And just in case, I want to make sure that we've got that locked in.
For the moment, because I was sharing screens, I'm going to share Crystal Day's winning entry from last year.
Oh, perfect.
Because you talked about that, but we didn't share it. So I have that here and I'm going to share it now.
Perfect. So that is what you're seeing right now is last year's prize for top pick. And so that's exactly right. So last year, unfortunately, the top prize for most popular was not a $500 Canlis gift card, but there's always next year. We're still tabulating the final stand-ins. So most popular pick by organization.
Alex, do you want
Yep.
me to tell you?
Sure, that works.
think that might-
Let's go with that. Let's
Okay,
go with.
so-
Can you tell
no,
me who
I
the
think-
most popular pick by organization is? Sorry about that, everyone.
Yep, it is the Olsen Kundig team, Mummy Mia. Mummy
Mummy
Mia
Mia.
won most popular.
All right. What about our most popular in the individual division?
Most popular in the individual is Michael Young.
Michael Young, great, and that is the exploding pumpkin, which I know was very exciting to see. I think that one, Gundula talked about the ability to photograph pumpkins. I think that one had some of the most dramatic lighting. So if you have not seen that one, do make sure to check that one out. Up next, we have most popular in the architectural student division.
And that is won by our architecture student, Kie Shin. And I'm sorry, Kie, if I've mispronounced your name. I believe she or they are on.
We can have the opportunity here. We talked about it, although I don't see them anymore. If they would like to come up and say a few words, or if they would prefer not to. I don't want to put anybody on stage that's not feeling up to that.
Oh, Kie is still here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm here and I could unmute myself. Sorry.
Great.
Well,
thank you.
congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about the design that went into it when you were carving this?
Yes. And thank you so much for the opportunity. It was so fun. I knew that it was for the architecture forum, and the first thing that just came up in my mind was, oh, I get to go to school in person now, and I just got into the major. So I just wanted to carve the architecture hall at UW.
That's awesome. Well, thanks. Congratulations on the pumpkin and for going to school and getting to go to Arc Hall in person coming up, or I guess right now.
Yeah, right now. Thank you.
Great. And so then our last most popular pick would be the student division.
That is Solly Ringgold, Solly R.
Solly
Solly
R.
R.
So
Yes.
congratulations.
not
I
here.
believe it is also Solly's 10th birthday this week. So congratulations and happy birthday. Great. So that concludes the most popular pick according to the donations page. So we can also go into the best design by the judges. And so starting
Well,
with
I do have one thing. Oh, okay. Best design. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So starting with top organization for the top prize or the best design prize in organization division, we have Perkins and Will Spears. So yeah, get excited. In the next division, we have for the individual division, the top by the judges pick is the Ben Salzman Untitled pumpkin. In best design for architecture student, that would once again be My Architecture Hall. So congratulations once again. And in the student division, we have Lars O as the top prize based on the judges pick. So those are our winners for each division, and we still have to announce the overall top vote getter. And so Ramla, do you want to reveal who the overall top vote getter is that gets the coveted $500 to Canlis?
Yes. So the overall top vote getter is also Mummy Mia, Olsen Kundig's team Mummy Mia, which means that we have a little change now in our firm standing. In
A
most
shake up at the
popular-
last minute. This was totally not planned. No, let's get some drama in here. What's going on? Who's going to be taking home the top prize now in the organization division?
The top prize in the organization division now goes to the, double checking this, Graphiters. The Graphiters.
Graphiters. So congratulations to Graphiters, which I believe is one of the 5 videos that was submitted. So again, if you have not seen all of the pictures and the videos, check them out, especially that one. Now that it's the top, it's the prize for organization division. It's got a great video. So there we go. There are winners.
I will share, and I can share that right now.
Oh, let's do that. Let's share that right now.
Yeah.
In case you haven't been on this page before, this is our Give Butter page for donations. So even though the voting is stopped, feel free to continue to push that vote now button.
Sorry, it didn't come up for me. I'll get there a different way.
Okay. Well, I also say that as we're kind of wrapping things up here, I want to say thank you again to all of our participants for submitting amazing pumpkins, for our judges for going through those and giving us our feedback on the pumpkins. Thanks for everyone for joining in today, to our sponsors, to our volunteers for allowing this to be put together. Thank you all so much for being a part of this today. As I said earlier, I think this was, it might have been before we started the actual launch, but this is the largest ever Carve for a Cause in my memory. So thank you all. And we'll have that video, and otherwise we're going to keep this open in case anybody wants to chat and talk. But this would essentially be the conclusion of the event right at 8 o'clock. So that's an extremely timely way to do this. Again, thank you all so much, and feel free to continue on and chat amongst yourselves. But this is the conclusion, essentially, of the event. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having
so
us.
much.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh, Alex, you're muted. You're muted.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear what you were saying earlier for some reason.
Oh, I was just giving the wrap up and saying that they can talk amongst themselves, and we'll see if we can get the video up. But that essentially, we had a hard stop at 8 o'clock. I hadn't told anybody else that, but we had a hard stop at 8 o'clock and we hit that time. So this is no longer the Carve for a Cause event. This is the after party. So welcome to the after party, everybody. I think we're still streaming on YouTube. So I think they always say like smash that like button or subscribe button. Feel free to subscribe to Architects Without Borders Seattle on YouTube. You can watch this video on repeat as many times as you want. I don't think there's any financial stake in that for our end, but still, it's always great to be watched tens of thousands of times. Like I said, we're going to have millions of people watching this live, so we want to have as many things going on as possible here. Yeah. No recording the after party. That's a good point. We probably should not record the after party. I think I can stop that. Yeah. Yeah, I have control of that. Cool. Yeah, the recording is stopped. We're no longer being recorded, everybody. Yeah, so thanks so much for going viral. Yeah, I've got the chat box pulled up on the side, and I don't see it most of the time because my field of vision is very narrow going this way.